Lesson 24. Trucking up. As a logistics player, eventually you will get tired of hauling resources and materials and supplies around the map on your feet. This means that you want a transport truck. There are various ways to go about this process. The first is just to walk around and see if there are any trucks available that you can use. Often previous logistics players will leave their trucks unlocked so that any other logistics players can use them when they log online. Over here is my truck. I'm going to unlock it quickly. When I first found this truck, as I logged onto the server, it was unlocked and ready for use. I made sure that no other players were using it by asking in chat and checking the surrounding vicinity, making sure no one else was using it at the time. To enter a truck, approach the left-hand side and press Q to enter the truck. The ignition will go and your truck is ready to move, as long as it has fuel in the back. To exit the truck again, press Q. To make sure that your truck has fuel, approach the back where you can access its inventory, press E, and you'll see whether your transport truck has fuel in it or not. If your truck happens to run out of fuel, it will no longer function and it cannot be moved until you return with fuel. In order to lock your truck, approach your truck and press L. This now locks your transport truck. This means no one else except for yourself can access or drive the truck. The only exception to this is if you are in a squad, in which case the truck becomes squad locked, which means you and your squad can only access the truck. It is also important to remember that you cannot enter a truck if you are encumbered. Let's test that. Let's grab all this fuel. We are now encumbered. Let's go to the driver's seat on the left-hand side. And as you can see, we cannot enter the truck because we are encumbered. Let's go and put this away. Deposit all the fuel back. And approach the left-hand side once again. We can certainly see that the wardens haven't been colonized. Now that we are unencumbered, we press Q, we enter the truck, we can get in just fine, it turns on, and away we go. Another important note is that the direction from which you enter a truck determines its functionality. If you enter from the left, as we have done, you will drive the truck. If you enter from the right-hand side, you will get in as a passenger in the cab. If you approach the truck from the rear, you will enter the rear of the truck, which can house an additional 4 soldiers. The second option for getting a truck is to wrench open a locked truck. However, you must only do this if you are entirely certain that the locked truck is no longer in use, as in a player who was using the truck locks it and is no longer on the server. To open a locked truck, go to your nearest town hall, and if you can, find a wrench. Requisition the wrench by clicking on it, and let it construct into your backpack. Now that the wrench has been assembled, click it. To equip it to your primary slot, press 1, and let's go and find a locked truck. Ooh, looky here, what have we over here? A locked truck that is certainly not my own. Approach the truck with your wrench, crouch by pressing C, and left click on it, and the lock for the truck will be dismantled. Then you can press Q, once the animation is finished, and enter the truck as if it were your own, and then press L, and the truck has now been claimed by you. The third and final way of trucking up, and possibly the best way of acquiring a truck, is to build one yourself. Once you've collected enough scrap, run over to a manufacturing plant, as we did previously, put all the scrap into the manufacturing plant, and turn them into basic materials. We have now refined it, and we have 101 BMATs. That is just enough for a transport truck. A transport truck costs 100 basic materials to manufacture. Once you have your basic materials, open your map, find the nearest vehicle factory, and head over there. Approach the vehicle factory, press E to activate it, and find the desired vehicle you wish to build. In this case, it is a transport truck. Click on it, and a blueprint will be constructed in the center of the vehicle factory. Press Tab to open your inventory. Left click on your hammer to equip it to your primary slot. Press 1 to equip the hammer. We waited too long, so the blueprint disappeared. Because the transport truck will cost 100 basic materials to construct, make sure you have those basic materials in your backpack ready to use. Let's try that again. Press E to use the vehicle factory. Left click on the transport truck, approach the truck, and hold down left mouse button to start bashing it with your hammer, using the basic materials to construct your wonderful new vehicle. Time for some accelerated building. There we go. Your transport truck has been created under your own labor. Don't you feel accomplished? It is important to note that when your transport truck has finished its construction, it doesn't have any fuel in it. If we approach the vehicle, let's approach the back, you can also access it from the various sides. Press E for its inventory, you'll see that there is no fuel in the transport truck, which means we cannot use it. Generally, you want to construct your vehicle when you have a bit of fuel in your inventory. However, from our previous lesson, we know that we put some fuel into the storage box over here. Let's grab some fuel. We have built our transport truck. Let's approach our truck once again. Submit the fuel to the transport truck. Get in on the left-hand side. Ignition starts, and we can drive it out of the factory. Hurrah! You are now the proud owner of a fuel transport truck. Once this is completed, and if you had limited fuel available for its initial construction, open your map, find the nearest fuel field, and head over there to fill your truck up, so that you don't have to worry about fuel while you're ferrying logistics around for a good long while. Finally, if you intend to be using your truck for a long time for your own logistics purposes, press L to lock it, thus claiming it for yourself so that no other players can come along and steal your truck. Which has happened to me on multiple occasions, and I've lost many resources. It's never nice to be a victim of Grand Theft Auto. Well done, soldier. You now know how to truck up. Now that we have our 6 wheels of logistical justice, let's get on in and truck on. And remember, the truck driver's most valuable tool is the left mouse button to hoot at people in your way. Vroom vroom! Oh, and one last best practice. If you're about to log off and you're done with your truck, return to a town hall or a vehicle factory. You're at the vehicle factory. Park it nicely. Unlock the truck. And there it's ready for another player to use it for logistical or transport purposes. Oh, green logistics truck, I fill you up, let's have a party. Let's have a party. I love you, green logistics truck. I fill you up, let's have a party. Let's have a party. Oh, green logistics truck, I think you're more than metal. You're more than amazing, you're more than just petrol. And believe me, I'm not the least bit encumbered when I take your steering wheel and say, green logistics truck, you're not just a truck. You're my material friend. Thank you for hauling all those shirts with me. Oh, green logistics truck, I fill you up, let's have a party. Let's have a party.